It seems we all are here and ready to listen. Thank you for the time to meet today. And now I will start with the welcoming session. Good evening and warm greetings to everyone who have joined us. I feel privileged to start this online workshop. Respected Principal Sir, Dr. Sabbasasi Mahanto, respected Vice Principal, Dr. Rina Hendik Ma'am, resource persons for this workshop, Ms. Pimili Langthasa and Ms. Upama Saikya, respected President of Gorgaon College Research Unit, Mrs. Monorama Fukan Ma'am, IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Surajit Saikya Sir, Head of the Department of Chemistry, Dr. Anna Gogoi Ma'am, respected faculty members, and my dear participants. I am Dr. Pakita Begum, and I, on behalf of the organizing committee and the entire Gorgaon College family, would like to welcome you all to this online workshop on issues which are related to gender sensitization. This topic is an integrated and interdisciplinary approach to understand the social and cultural constructions of the gender, the laws and policies in challenging towards achieving gender equality. Gender sensitization will definitely bring in the desirable changes in the overall development of the nations as well as across the globe. UGC is committed to the goals of developing a safe, secure, and violence-free environment in all the educational institutions across the country. This workshop is organized under the notification of UGC directed by the Ministry of Education to conduct a special drive on various issues related to gender sensitization. Now I will hand over this session to our first speaker, Ms. Pimili Langthasa. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, fine. A very good evening, everyone. I'm very glad to be amongst of all of you, such an august gathering and participants, and also glad to be presenting my talk on gender sensitization. And the topic of my talk is Woman, a key differentiator towards gender equality. I am thankful to Women Cell, Gorgaon College Teachers Unit, IQAC, Gorgaon College, and Department of Chemistry, Gorgaon College, for organizing such a wonderful workshop and giving me the opportunity to express my view on this. Gender sensitization is the need of the hour, and today I'm going to have a small presentation specially on gender sensitization. Now I think I will go over to my presentation. Let me share my screen. Is it visible? Is my screen is visible?
Yes, it is visible. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. As I have already mentioned that gender sensitization is the need of the hour. And in this session, we will learn about gender sensitization and gender equality and what that means. And also we will look into the gender policies that have been made to change the situation of discrimination towards equality. I can't change my slide. I think there is some technical glitch.
I'm also not able to do anything. Can you? Okay.
Yes. Uh, from my side, the slides is changing into the next. Let me proceed. Yes, these are the some highlights of today's topic, which I'm going to cover. Understanding the gender sensitization, understanding gender equity and equality, gender roles and gender identity, gender policies, challenges towards achieving gender equality. So I hope that you will find this talk useful for changes in your life and in your workplaces. Everybody must have heard the word gender sensitization. Why gender and why sensitization? Many of us must have been wondering what it means. In this session, we will be discussing the meaning and how do we become gender sensitive. And everyone have crossed across the term gender difference and gender and sex. Gender is the gender is the social distinction between the boys and girls. What a boy is supposed to do and what a girl is supposed to do. It's basically a social or psychological thoughts that prevails in the society. Man becomes masculine and woman become feminine. And what is a biological difference clearly now become a social difference. And that is called a gender difference. And in a simple term, gender sensitization is to raise or to sensitize of gender equality concerns. This slide shows a brief definitions over gender versus sex. Gender is a, as I have said, that gender is a psychological norms or the prevalence or the distinction between the boys and the girls. Generally, the gender and sex are often mixed up together. And also, the two terms are different in the concepts with having a different meaning. Gender is a physiological term, while sex is a biological term. Gender awareness towards biological sex or personal gender identity and sex is a functional differences between the males and the females and their reproductive potentials. Likewise, male cannot conceive while a female can conceive. So that's a biological difference. Gender is also determined by the biological, physiological, and social factors, whereas gender and in terms that gender whereas sex just determined into by looking into the X and Y genes. So it as compared to the gender, which is a much broader term, the sex is a much simpler term, which is just determined by the genes. Thus, sex is biologically determined, innate, unchangeable, yes, unless changed with intense surgical intervention and universal. However, gender is a social construct, learned, dynamic, and changeable, and differs within and between the cultures. However, there is another category called intersex. Generally, this term is used for a variety of conditions in which a person is born with a reproductive or sexual anatomy that doesn't seem to have the typical definition of a female and a male. So when we look into the gender composition, there are always two issues that always come in my mind, which is very important. That is the gender role and gender identity. So whenever we talk about gender role, adoption of masculine or a feminine behavioral characters that are deemed appropriate or characteristic for a particular gender in a particular society. Actually, they are deemed appropriate, whether they are appropriate or not, but the society believe that they are appropriate. That is called a gender role. Whereas in case of the gender identity, that is the person's private subjective sense of their own gender. Now, this gender role and identity, or else I would say that these roles and rules that prevails in the society, thus carried out in the future and generation after generation, and what are the roles for the woman, and these roles kept into the society and prevails throughout the generations in the mainstream. So these are known as the gender norms. Now the main does this standard or say the gender role or the gender identity which prevails in the society makes these standards are actually expected, and according to these norms both the genders remain or else they are expected to remain in that domain. As I have already mentioned that gender does not only designate to women as well society, but certain norms to men that do not fall into the norms when they behave or talk like a woman. So all these norms and rules becomes a base. A base of what? A base of the process. A base of the process. These rules and norms completely pass into the socialization process and thus contribute towards stereotypes, which has been followed into the past generation and might be followed by the generation to come. So these are the compositions. When we just see into it, it basically comes into the two terminology, that is the gender role and gender identity. So as I have mentioned that these norms and rules becomes a base that leads and contributes towards stereotypes. As I have mentioned about stereotypes in the previous slide, the issues related to the sensitization is we need to keep in mind that there is a very thin line which separates the terminologies. We need to know the difference between the terminologies very minutely, what keeps on happening, and that is the difference between them goes on declining, and also they keep attaining different meanings in the society. These rules and regulation actually on the child, uh, on the girl child especially, made by the societies in minimum, but as they keep up growing in the futures, in the growing phase, as I would like to say that, while becoming mature, these rules go on becoming harsh and stringent. No doubt, in the early stages, they might have been cope up with that rules and norms, but as they become mature, these rules become harsh and stringent towards it. As such, it becomes impossible for them to break free from such rules, and they are kept from doing many things that are a very part of their well-being and process. So we must have kept so these things, stereotypes which prevails in the society, this is basically based on the norms and the rules that prevails in the that comes to from the families, right, from in large scales in the society as well in the workplace too. Now such things come under stereotype, and this becomes the root cause of discrimination, so which keeps them utilizing their full potential, preventing them from achieving their goals. We must all have, yes, I would say that we all must have seen such discriminations in our surrounding. I won't say we all have faced it, but yes, we can surely say that we must have seen it in our surroundings. So what is discrimination now, and why discrimination, and what actually it means? In general terms, when we give the chance to one, suppressing to the other, thus giving more opportunities to one or giving much favor to the other, then this will be called as a discrimination. When I'm talking about discrimination, it doesn't mean that I'm only talking about the women, as the name suggests. It is a gender. It is a gender. It both goes for the women as well as the men. But there are some existing laws for men as well as for the women. But in the society, women are facing more discrimination as compared to the men. So when we talk often or say when we often speak about the gender discrimination, we often give examples on the women discrimination. Discrimination thus has played a role in humanity from beginnings to the human existence to the modern societies of today. Now, I'm going to play short videos regarding the issues which I have discussed currently, and these videos clearly depicts the subject.
बापू कहते हैं बच्चे जो देखते हैं उसी से सीखते हैं। जुग जुग जिया अब यहाँ के तौर तरीके ही देख लो। जुग जुग जिया
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, Pakisha, you are audible.
I am talking to the resource person. Actually, the video, I think that has to be shared separately or what?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, is it videos is visible to everyone?
No.
Now the video is not coming. It is not visible yet. You can share the video. Go to screen share and you can share, I think.
Okay.
Mm.
Let me do the needful. It is playing now?
Yes, it will come, I think. You can start playing it.
I think there is a problem sharing the videos, and I'm really very sorry for the inconvenience.
Emily?
Yes, sir.
No. You are not able to share the video, no? Right?
Yes, I'm actually sharing the screen, but it's not playing. From my side, I can clearly see all the videos and it is clearly visible from my end, but from the viewers and I don't think so it is visible. So
No, you can try again. You can take time, 1 or 2 minutes. I think that will be important component. So you just try again. I'm providing you the host. Okay. Then I think you can share the videos and the screen.
Is it
The
visible?
sound is coming. The sound is coming.
Yes, it is playing also.
बापू कहते हैं बच्चे जो देखते हैं उसी से सीखते हैं। जुग जुग जिया जुग जिया तो बाबोनिया के दुनिया जोर कैलू हो जुग जुग जिया तो बाबोनिया के दुनिया जोर कैलू हो सही कहते हैं बापू बच्चे जो देखते हैं उसी से सीखते हैं ना 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 ना
As you have seen in the videos, hello, am I audible again?
You are audible, but you have to share your screen again.
Yes, yes. As you have seen in the videos that this situation as shown came very late in the society, but yet I have to say that it is not impossible to play a woman in each and every role of the situation and in the workplace, to choose each workplace. So coming to the next slide, where I'll be talking about the gender equity and equality. We have talked about the gender violence and gender discrimination. But if we look into the real situation, what does it actually mean? In this slide, you can see an image in the left-hand side written as an equal opportunities with a question mark. The point is that is every individual is getting an equal opportunities. Now in this picture you can see different animals, and I'm taking this image as an example and hoping them to climb the tree behind them, which is impossible. The inequality that prevails in our society is the same situation. Likewise, everyone need is different, so everyone supports need to be different. तभी बोलते हैं कि सपोर्ट अलग अगर देना पड़ेगा, उन्हीं को सपोर्ट देना पड़ेगा जिसको उसका लक्ष्य और जो उनकी विकास की जरूरत है, तभी वो उसके लक्ष्य तक और जरूरत तक पहुंच सकती है. And from the another picture, I would like to depict that if we want to reach the fruits, we must give an equal opportunities to all. It cannot achieve towards its target. If we want to make them to achieve towards the target, then we have to offer them the opportunities which is need in that time, which is lacking, and support them to achieve to that particular goal and the target. So this such process and mechanism is known as gender mainstreaming, which does not only give the message that all should have the equal chances and opportunities, and also assess that if there is any action and policies are taken, it should be kept in mind that how it is going to benefit to the genders. This whole strategy is said to be the gender mainstreaming. Now, even though government has implemented many schemes and policies taking view on account of women and many changes has been seen, but still there are many schemes and policies that are there which is neutral or blind. Now, another gender sensitive policies are those policies which are the assessment gives more provision to the females that is needed. Say, for example, if you want a girl child education in more percentage, and if the school is quite at a distance, then Pragyan Bharati Scooty scheme and Cycle Yojana that are launched by the Assam and Bihar government, respectively, to encourage and support to the students, more specifically to the female students. And for the working woman, pre-care facility has been provided. These type of policies that are made after the assessment is known as the gender sensitive policies. Transformative is the policies if a huge structural changes, such as based on the strategic changes that we are talking about, to make a huge difference in the near coming future, where small schemes and policies cannot be achieved. At that time, transformative policies are needed to change the structural reforms in a large scale. Now, gender sensitization Thus, we can say that gender sensitization plays a very crucial role in achieving gender equality. It also plays a role in dismantling of systemic gender biasness and sexism. Evolution of all public policies, programs, activities can be done so that the gender sensitive public services is effective in its planning, implementation, and monitoring reforms. And also recruitment, retention, and development of the people so that professionally public services can be afforded to all the genders. Now today's talk is also that particularly to create interest among the students. When I can say that, when I'm talking about this gender, I'm meaning both the male and female students to pursue the gender studies issue, so that it can sensitize in a large scale. Now, it will also help in reviewing existing policies. It will also help in formulating gender prospective guidelines. It will help in plan, implement, and monitor gender-specific initiative, and through research, scientific knowledge based in the effective decision making can be uplifted and enhanced. Now, there are global day that honors women achievements, and the following are some of the important days. So International Women's Day, which is globally observed on March 8 to honor political, cultural, and socio-economic achievement of the women. And there are lots of such important days such as Daughter Day, Sister Days, and International Women Day for Peace and Disarmament, Women's Equality Day, Mother's Day, National Girl Child Day to celebrate these women across the globe. So thus, gender equality is more than a goal in itself. It is a precondition for meeting the challenge of reducing, promoting sustainable development, and building good governance. This is by Kofi Annan. With this slide and quotes, I would like to end my session. Thank you everyone for your patience.
Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful session. And the informations that were given felt directly applicable in our day-to-day surroundings. I appreciate your structured approach to such a wide topic with some fantastic takeaways that we can definitely put into practice. Thanks again. Now I'd like to request our next speaker, Ms. Upama Sekya. Over to you.
Am I audible?
Yes, Upama, you are audible.
A very warm good evening to respected principal of Gorgaon College, Bhase Mohanto sir, and organizing committee and speaker, as well as all the faculty members of Gorgaon College. At first, I thank you, all of you, the organizing committee, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to deliver my speech and thoughts regarding this gender sensitization issue. And it is my first experience, and if I do any mistake, then bear with me. And, my talking is on today is on laws and practicality, as well as the understanding women rights in India. The starting with the Swami Vivekananda quotation, I want to start that just as the bird cannot fly with one wings, the nation cannot develop if the woman left behind. এটা চৰাই যেতিয়া এখন পাখিৰ দ্বাৰা উৰিব নোৱাৰে, ঠিক তেনেদৰে এখন ৰাষ্ট্ৰই কেতিয়াও মহিলাসকলক পিছত ৰাখি পেলাই কেতিয়াও আগুৱাই যাব নোৱাৰে। তো আমি যেতিয়া ওমেন ৰাইটছৰ কথা কওঁ, it is a very ongoing process over the years, and there are various international laws and conventions conventions or discussions have been going through, and now we are in the positions that there are so much development happen regarding women rights, and internationally it is various with the adoption of convention of discrimination against women, CEDAW, which was adopted in 1979, that is always working for the adoption issues regarding the women rights. And in India also, it is very much good for us that with the adoption of the Constitution of India, women rights have been preserved and protected and promoted. With the I will not be going through all the articles and of Act regarding the women rights, but when we talk about the Article 14, 15 and 16, Article 14 says that all are equal before the eyes of law, irrespective of religion, race, culture, or gender, or sex. And Article 15 also, the prohibition of discrimination against women. And also Article 16 also talking about the equal employment opportunities. So like that, there is a various fundamental rights provided, or the directive principles of the Indian Constitution provided and promoted women rights. And various government initiatives also have been taken for the promotions of women rights and protection women issues. But I want to go through some act of regarding women or protections of women rights, which has been recently amended. First, the Maternity Benefit Act 2017, which increased the maternity leave for women from 12 weeks to 26 weeks. 12 সপ্তাহৰ পৰা 26 সপ্তাহলৈ তেওঁলোকে maternity leave to দিছে to take care of the children of the woman. And secondly, the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018, which is the anti-rape laws, which increased the imprisonment time from 7 years to 10 years. 7 বছৰৰ পৰা 10 বছৰলৈকে তেওঁলোকৰ যিটো imprison সময় আছে তেওঁলোকক সেইটো বহুৱাইছে। And it is the first, এখন এটা যিটো Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018, it is the first time giving the death penalty the accused offenses for the offenses regarding the rape issue. That তেওঁলোকে death penalty দিছে এই act খনৰ দ্বাৰা 2018 এইটো নতুন amendment কৰা হৈছে। আৰু thirdly, যেতিয়া আমি চাম Muslim Women Protection Rights on Marriage Act 2019. By this act, it is providing protections those Muslim women which are become vulnerable due to the triple talaq. And after it is Shahabano case, that is Supreme Court of India considered triple talaq as unconstitutional. It is illegal. So there are numerous acts which has been reformed by the government of India for the protections of women's rights. And when we talk about in the context of Assam, then there is a various government initiatives and schemes have been taken by the government of Assam also. আমি সকলোৱে জানো অৰুন্ধতী আঁচনি, অৰুণোদয় আঁচনি, যাৰ দ্বাৰা women সকলক newly married or অৰুন্ধতী আঁচনিৰ দ্বাৰা newly married womenক 40,000 সোণ দিয়া হৈছে, সোণ বা তেওঁলোকক পইচা তেনেকে দিয়া হৈছে। অৰুণোদয় আঁচনিৰ দ্বাৰা 1,200 rupees দিয়া হৈছে for the widow and as well as the unmarried women. And also the Swanibhar portal, through which it enable women economically independent. যিসকল আমাৰ indigenous women আছে তেওঁলোকৰ handloom কাৰ্যৰ দ্বাৰা তেওঁলোকক economically independent কৰাৰ বাবে Swanibhar portalটো তেওঁলোকক কৰা হৈছে। তো তেনেকে ধৰণে অসমত আৰু মাতৃবন্দনা বা বেটি বচাও, মাজনী মামনি আঁচনি, তেওঁলোকে বহুত ধৰণৰ স্কিম লৈ পেলাই এতিয়া মেমেও কৈ গ'ল যে bicycle for girl child এনেকৈ দি পেলাই এডুকেশ্যনটো তেওঁলোকক যাতে তেওঁলোকৰ ডেভেলপ হয় সেইটোৰ ওপৰত গুৰুত্ব দিয়া হৈছে কিন্তু আমি যেতিয়া প্ৰেক্টিকেল বেচিছত চাওঁ মোৰ টপিকটোৱে আছিলে যে ল এণ্ড দ্য প্ৰেক্টিকেলিটি চ' আমি যেতিয়া প্ৰেক্টিকেল বেচিছত চাওঁ ইট ইজ এ ভেৰি আনফৰ্চুনেট টু চি ডেট দ্য crime against women is rising day by day. It is India lost over 86 rape cases on a daily basis and 49 offenses against women per hour. And it বহুত ডাঙৰ কথা যে 86 rape যদি daily basis হয় আৰু 46 যদি আমাৰ womenৰ againstত cases হয় এতিয়া আমি ওমেন ৰাইটছৰ কথা কৈ পেলাই আমি কেতিয়াও আমি ক'ব নোৱাৰো যে ওমেনখিনি এতিয়াও চিকিউৰ হৈ আছে তো আকৌ যদি আমি চাওঁ যে ইন 2021 4,28,278 cases against crime against women are registered and which is increased 50% from the previous year and also 31,677 cases of rape in 2021. And in 2021, 136,192 women across India who registered cases under cruelty by women, cruelty by husband or his relatives. So, and the pandemic, it was also considered by a sociologist as shadow pandemic. Women সকলৰ shadow pandemic হিচাপে এটা আখ্যা দিছে এজন sociologist কাৰণ তেওঁ কৈছে যে সেই পেণ্ডেমিকৰ টাইমত আমাৰ যিটো কৰোনা ভাইৰাছৰ পেণ্ডেমিকৰ টাইমত সকলোতকৈ বেছি ডমেষ্টিক ভাইলেন্স ইণ্ডিয়াত হৈছিলে এবাৰ মানে ইণ্ডিয়াৰ আগতকৈ বহুত বেছি ডমেষ্টিক ভাইলেন্স ৰেজিষ্টাৰ্ড হৈছিলে ডিউৰিং পেণ্ডেমিক and also dowry related cases which increased from 20% from the previous years. So আমি যেটা practical basis and আৰু সবতকে দুখজনক কথাটো হৈছে যে অসম হৈছে প্ৰথম টপত আছে crime against women. তো আমি অসমৰ people হিচাপে as a concerned citizen হিচাপে আমি এটো এটা দেখিবলৈ পোৱাটো খুবেই দুখজনক কথা যে অসম টপত হৈছে ভাল ইস্যুত কেতিয়াও আমি টপত আজিলৈকে আহি পোৱা নাই চাগে কিন্তু ক্ৰাইম এগেইনষ্ট ওমেনৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত আমি অসম টপত আহিছো তো এইটো আমাৰ বাবে অতি দুখজনক কথা হৈছে তো আমি এতিয়া ওভাৰঅল যিখিনি এক্ট চালো যিখিনি প্ৰমোশ্যন যিখিনি ৰিফৰ্মেশ্যন চালো ইট ইজ গুড ইন ওৱান চাইড এইটো প্ৰেক্টিকেল বেচিছত যদি আমি চাওঁ এতিয়াও বহুতো এতিয়াও আমাৰ ৰিয়েলাইজেশ্যন কৰিবলগীয়া আছে মই ভাবোঁ মই ইণ্ডিভিজুৱেলি ভাবিছোঁ যে আমি ওমেন ৰাইটছ ইট ইজ বহুতখিনি ওমেন ৰাইটছখিনি ইছ্যুখিনি এতিয়াও ডিল হৈছে আৰু আমি যদি যেতিয়া আমি নিজৰ স্পেয়াৰখিনি কথা চাওঁ আমি যদি ৰিচেণ্ট এক্সাম্পলৰ পৰা চাওঁ ইণ্টাৰভিউৰ পৰা চাওঁ যে আমি ফিমেল আছে 8 আছো দুজন মেল অকল ফেকাল্টি আছে আমাৰ যিখিনি ইণ্টাৰভিউ হৈছিলে ৰিচেণ্টলি তো আমি প্ৰত্যেকটো স্পেয়াৰতে ওমেনখিনি ওলাই আহিছে তেওঁলোকৰ ৰাইটছখিনি তেওঁলোকে ডেপিক্ট কৰিছে এষ্টাব্লিছ কৰিছে কিন্তু এতিয়া বহুতখিনি ওমেন ৰাইটছটো এষ্টাব্লিছ হৈ গৈছে কিন্তু ওমেন প্ৰটেকশ্যনৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত এতিয়াও বহুত দূৰ যাবলগীয়া আছে কাৰণ আমি এতিয়া এডুকেটেড ওমেন হিচাপে আমি নিজকে বহুতখিনিলৈকে জানো হোৱাট ইজ ৰাইট হোৱাট টু বি গোয়িং অন অৰ আমাৰ লগত কি বেয়া হ'বলৈ গৈ আছে আমি নিজকে অলপ হ'লেও বচাই ৰাখিব পাৰোঁ কিন্তু এগৰাকী 9 মহীয়া শিশু তেওঁ কেতিয়াও নাজানে যে তেওঁ নিজকে কেনেকৈ বচাই ৰাখিব লাগে তো সেইটো সেইবাবে আমি যেতিয়া ওমেন ৰাইটছৰ কথা পাতো এতিয়া ট্ৰান্সফৰ্মেশ্যনটো আহিছে ওমেন প্ৰটেকশ্যনৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত ইজ মোৰ ইম্পৰ্টেঞ্চ শুড বি গিভেন টু দ্য ওমেন প্ৰটেকশ্যন এণ্ড ডিছক্ৰিমিনেশ্যনটো এতিয়াৰ পৰা গৈ থৈ ইটছ এ মেটাৰ অফ ৰেচপেক্ট এণ্ড ডিগনিটি বুলি মই ভাবোঁ মৰ্যাদা আৰু সন্মানৰ কথা এতিয়া বৰ্তমান ওমেনৰ ৰিলেটেড বেছি গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ হৈ আহিছে ৰাইটছ আৰু ডিছক্ৰিমিনেশ্যনৰ এগেইনষ্টত এতিয়া সেইটোলৈ ট্ৰান্সফাৰ হৈছে তো ইজ এ all of it is psychological mindset মই সাইকোলজি বিষয়ে তেনেকৈ ধৰণে নাজানো তো মই জাষ্ট সেইটো ভাবিছোঁ যে সাইকোলজিকেল এটা মাইণ্ডছেটৰ বাবে আজি বৰ্তমান আমাৰ অসমত যিখিনি ক্ৰাইম এগেইনষ্ট ওমেনৰ টপত আহিছে সেইটো কোনোবা এইখিনিত হয়তো আমাৰ policy making of ক্ষেত্ৰত আমি কেতিয়াও চাগে failure হোৱা নাই এতিয়ালৈকে providing the good opportunities and the rights and promotions for the girl child or woman কিন্তু আমি psychological mindset আমাৰ people mindset টো change নকৰিলে আমাৰ day to day লাইফত আমি সদায় এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ ঘটনা ঘটিয়ে থাকিব আৰু 49টা কেसेছ পাৰ আৱাৰত হোৱাটো আমাৰ কাৰণে বহুত এটা চিন্তনীয় বিষয় তো মই ভাবো এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ conference বা workshop it should be held and awareness আনক সমাজৰ সকলো লোকৰ মাজত আৰু পিপলে সদায় তেওঁলোকৰ মাইণ্ডছেটটো সদায় প্ৰটেক্টিভ কাৰণ সকলোৱে এনেকে ধৰণে যদি ভাবে যে নিজৰ ছোৱালীজনীৰ লগতো যদি এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ ঘটনা ঘটে তেতিয়াহ'লে কি হ'ব তো সেইবাবে মই ভাবো এইখিনিৰ ওপৰত গুৰুত্ব দিয়া উচিত আৰু মই বহাই নাথাকো ইমানতে কৈ মই ভাবো মই জাষ্ট justify কৰিব পাৰিলো workshopটো at last my grateful thanks to all of you I conclude here thank you hello ma'am
Hello.
yes ma'am I conclude
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for the very wonderful and thought-provoking session. Your specific ideas have been insightful. And we all got to know the laws that have been related to the protection and creating safe environment for our society. Thank you again. Now I would like to request Sandeepa Agarwal to put forward the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
We have almost come to the end of today's workshop. I, on behalf of the organizing committee, would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to respected Principal Sir, Gargaon College, Dr. Sabyasachi Mohanto Sir, for always encouraging and supporting us to organize special talks and sessions for greater benefit of students' community. I would like to extend my vote of thanks to respected Vice Principal Ma'am, Dr. Ina Hendik Ma'am, for gracing the occasion with her presence. I would like to extend my vote of thanks to our esteemed resource person of today's session, Ms. Pimili Langthasa Ma'am and Ms. Upama Saikya, for enlightening us with their enriching lecture on gender sensitization. My heartfelt gratitude also goes to Mrs. Monorama Fukon Ma'am, President, GCTU, for her valuable suggestions and cooperation in organizing this workshop. I would like to extend my vote of thanks to the coordinator IQAC, Gargaon College, Dr. Surojit Sekia Sir, and Dr. Anna Gogoi Ma'am, Head Department of Chemistry, for associating with us. I would like to extend my vote of thanks to all respected faculty members of the college for their wholehearted support rendered in the successful organization of this workshop. I would like to extend my vote of thanks to the technical team for extending all the technical help. Thank you.
So we will now end this session. Thank you everyone again.